Join the crew as a member of the Onyx Key for exclusive members-only messages, redirections, and content. We already have a bunch of videos live with some familiar topics as well as new questions, so I'll see you on the other side of the Onyx Key. Make sure you hit the join button to go deeper down this experience with me. Hey family, I'm back like I promised with another 18 plus theme. So I am going to keep adding these and testing different series as I come up with concepts, because I do want to give you guys 18 plus readings where they are self-awareness and ascension based, basically where you can apply it in a way that's actually going to benefit you and your life, right? So this is another one I'm testing. This is our third go at that Sorbet soul sync, because I'm trying to find a home for the soul sync theme. So hopefully this is going to be the series for it. So I'm gonna keep the other series, the one that was your sexual aura. I'm gonna keep that. We may switch it up for the fall, so just keep a heads up. You will see another one of those soon. I should film that one in the next couple of days as well. And so I just want to talk about this specific reading so you can see what the goal is since it's new. What we're going to look is to see how different types of soul contracts, whatever your label is, karmic, soulmate, twin flame, how engaging with this people is going to affect your energy following intimacy. And because energy is fleeting, right? It comes and goes and all of the things, I'm looking for specific patterns, meaning I'm looking for how you'll consistently feel after dealing with these people or this person, if you have a specific one in mind, right? So following these encounters, your sexual, sensual encounters, the long-term effects of just consistently being connected with this person, these people's energy, okay? So do you feel low? Do you feel balanced? Do you feel stable? Do you feel tired, excited? You spiking up? Is it like a high? Is it like a rush? Like, that's kind of what I'm looking to see, and how that's gonna benefit you or hinder you, okay? I'm not sure if we'll get sexual compatibility. Now, if it slips in, we'll take it, right? Because by nature of the question, we may touch on it similar to how we manage love languages. And as always, this is to help you navigate these relationships, okay? I want this to be a useful tool. It's to help you interpret the type of connections you're dealing with, right? So I have to say, with this being an 18 plus reading for YouTube, this is an informational, educational reading, because I want to show you how to lean into the good and identify the bad. And also, just to wrap it up, I want to clarify the question and the intent, just because I know how it can be interpreted. This is not a question to encourage you guys to lack confidence in your personal power, in your energetic boundaries, in your sexual nature, sexual identity. Like, I want you guys to be as free and as liberated as you choose. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to see, as you're out maneuvering these connections, connecting with these people, how it's actually impacting you, and what you can do to either protect yourself, just have better boundaries, lean into it when it's really good. Like, that's what the purpose is, just so we don't get those questions. All right. So I'm going to hold the thumbnail up now. I'm going to read the long title. It may not be exactly what fits, but we're looking to see, is it love? Is it a divine union? What's your divine masculine, divine feminine energy like, and how it manifests in sexual, sensual, intimate encounters, okay? So pile number 1 is the watermelon sorbet. Pile number 2 is the green grape sorbet. Pile number 3 is the coconut sorbet. And then pile number 4 is the cantaloupe mint sorbet, but I'm going to label it as peach. I feel like some of you are coming here because you want it to be peach. So use your imagination when it comes to that one, okay? I'll give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile number one. Let's see how your energy responds to sensual encounters with different types of soulmates, contracts, relationship types. Tell me about this watermelon sorbet. It's a lot of different energy, very dynamic. Okay. I'm already feeling like you might be the type that gets stimulated and excited. Okay, what's this? This is the one. Yep. We got passion, and it talks about the intense emotions and finding balance within this intensity. So it does talk about chaos. So you're the type of person that's, I don't want to say you're easily stimulated. I won't put that on you. But I'll say this, when you're stimulated, it's loud. Like when you're attracted, when you're ready to go, when you're turned on by somebody, I feel like other people possibly can tell. So let me see what else we got here. Let me slide this over, making some space. Yeah, look at you. You're very in tune with your sexual nature. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Nothing to be ashamed of. I know sometimes you guys share in the comments some of your experiences, but there's nothing wrong with that. You're a very vivid person. Okay, just in general, right? Passion and cosmic flower is loud. You probably have a lot of bright oranges and reds in your aura. You're very grounded and rooted. So one of the things that's important, right? I can already tell you're a cosmic flower. You're very easily drained and depleted. Okay, so if you came from that aura reading that was also 18 plus, that series we're starting, I can already kind of get a feel for where your energy fell if you're picking your right piles. So just be cognizant of the way that you harness your sexual energy. Like when you're intimate with somebody, don't give it all you got, because I feel like you're the type that goes all, like you may feel a little depleted even if you're in a healthy connection, because I don't want to say you're overextending, but it's like you're so excited, you're so passionate, you're so into love that it's you give it all you got. I find that your sexual partners probably feel really energized after dealing with you. Like you probably feel real energized. Okay. Let me see. Tell me more about my watermelon sorbet. Tell me about their energy. Yeah. Oh, look at you. Wow. We've got the Emperor of Authority. I mentioned all of the bright oranges and reds, like fire, right? Not orange necessarily from a sacral chakra. I 100% was thinking root and solar plexus. That's why the orange is there, because it's just so much red and so much gold that you have this authority, this power. So in your healthiest state, like when you're, because we this is why it's an 18 plus reading, guys, because we want to be mature here in like conversations that are just for a certain group, even though they're not explicit. It's just human life, right? A healthy sex life, a healthy sexual relationship with sex, a healthy energy is critical in everything that you do, right? Like that's part of who we are. That's part of what we're here to do. And your energy, you thrive when you're in a healthy relationship where you're being satisfied sexually. So at your peak, you are like power. This honestly feels more like a divine masculine pile. Like, I mean, it just is what it is. I have the Emperor, I have the solar plexus. It's a lot of fire, and doesn't mean you have to be male or even masculine. It just means you are very much active and the go-getter when it comes to your sensual energy and your passions. And that's good because it makes you a very creative, grounded person, right? Like you're very good at getting things done on the 3D just in general. That's an extension of your sexual power. But at your most balanced, you feel strong, you feel stable, you feel in control, you feel confident in yourself. So we know for this pile very explicitly, you are not in a healthy relationship where you're being intimate sexually, where you're just being intimate with your personal self, right? Where you're just connecting spiritually, whatever it is. It's not healthy if you lack confidence, if you feel small, if you feel shrunken, if you feel like you need to shrink your sexual energy. This is a very sexual person on my table. It's healthy. But if you find that in a connection, you having to shrink it, like your partner can't match your stamina, can't match your libido, can't match your desire, that's not gonna benefit you, because that's gonna basically throw water on all of this fire I have here, right? Remember, the Emperor is Aries energy. It's cardinal. It's initiating, go. Like, that's literally the energy of an orgasm, right? Like, that's the sign that rules that fire, that solar plexus. So to be healthy in general, you got to be healthy sexually. And it feels like you thrive on that energy. So look, power one is the one that came right out the gate. Like, well, if we're going to do 18 plus, let's be 18 plus, right? So I got two. Yeah. Okay. We got you. I'll take both. It makes sense. See, the fulfillment of wishes, you have so much energy to harness. That 9 of Cups is personal satisfaction. Like, you have to be personally satisfied in your connection. You still have to maintain your identity. You still have to feel like someone of importance. Let me see. Any partners that you are draining to, that's not going to benefit you. You might, I'm not like trying to make you that. I don't want you to be the villain in your own power. You are not a villain in any way. But I see a potential for shadow with you where you may be the draining person in the connection because you require a lot. Okay. You need to start pulling it from the universal force. But the right partner, the right soulmate is going to connect and match that intensity, because you got a lot of energy, right? Accelerated motion, 8 of Wands is go, move. It's quick, it's fast. It's someone that can get turned on, like that. You don't need a lot of foreplay, things like that. Like, and if someone can't match your intensity, you get very bored very quickly. You're not even attracted anymore. Okay. So I don't know if you realize that about yourself, but that's you. So make sure because sometimes people with this energy, this powerful energy, they're like confident. It feels like a leadership, like importance. And I know what society tells us, but I'll be honest with you. You need to make sure you prioritize all of this passion sensually, because I think I mentioned in the intro, I was going to look to see like sexual compatibility just to keep you happy in connections. That needs to be at the top of your list of priorities, because this is a pile that has to have the passion and sexual compatibility in a connection. Like, you're not going to make it without it with the 4 of Cups, okay? Like, you have to have that connection. It's not deep enough for you if you can't engage on that level. So your karmics are either going to be really drained by you or overstimulated, right? It's two opposites of the same coin, right? They're going to be overstimulated or they're going to be really drained. And they're not bad people. You're just not compatible. You're meant to teach each other how to deal with other people and all the other stuff like that, right? So tell me more about this watermelon sorbet. Visit love, divine union, long term with Saturn. I mentioned karmics, right? Okay. Ironically enough, your karmics will make you feel slow. They will make you feel sluggish. You will experience delays. You may have difficulty. Whereas I mentioned you're a very, very passionate person and you're very typically easily stimulated. When you're dealing with the karmic, they may make you feel a little bit shamed of this passion, of this intensity, to where you start having issues getting aroused and things like that. Like, you don't want that, because now that's that energy of shame on the table. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna start feeling shame, embarrassment, like something must be wrong with you. Like, am I too freaky? Like, you're that group where, there may be some shame associated with it due to historical connections. You have a higher potential for that, just because if someone can't keep up with your energy, they're either overstimulated or drained. They start restricting you, trying to limit you, because, as people, you're never the problem as an individual, right? It's always the other person. People always project. So now you end up having to shrink yourself a little bit, dimming your solar plexus. Because see, that's what I want avoided, right? Because 18 plus, whatever, content aside, this needs to be full force for you to thrive in this life. Like, you're not going to be in good health. You're not going to have any energy. You're not going to be successful if people are dimming your solar plexus due to the shame associated with your sexual nature. Okay, does that make sense? So karmas are going to slow you down. You're going to start having delays. You may start slowing down energetically. You may notice you don't have as much energy to do life, right? Not just sensual energy, not just fitness, all of that. I'm noticing that. Okay, let me get one more in the bottom from this deck. Okay. We got Cancer, nurture, comfort, protection. So the healthiest connections for you are going to make you feel safe, nurtured, comforted, right? Even if you have a partner that doesn't necessarily match the intensity, they won't shame you for it, right? They'll do, like, if you're compatible. I honestly, I want to say that, but I'll be truth. Like, this is, you cannot be with a partner that's not going to match your intensity. Whether we're talking about physically, mentally, emotionally, there's a certain depth that this pile needs. It's not going to last unless you connect, right? Because even here, Saturn and Cancer is not even a sensual vibe, right? Technically, it's maternal, paternal energy, but there's a certain emotional intimacy that comes with the sign of Cancer. There's a certain long-term stability that comes from the lessons of Saturn that you have to be able to connect on all of your trauma, all of your pain, like merging of souls. Cosmic flower is not going to benefit you to play around with people that you're discontent and disengaged from, because they're not able to go as deep as you, as intense as you, okay? Because you're going to waste other people's time, create all kinds of trauma. I got the letter C that could be relevant in some way, but look, we have Chiron here. Chiron is the wounded healer, okay? You're going to connect most your soulmates. If you're a person with any trauma, sexual trauma, any of that, you'll likely best connect with someone that has a similar past, right? They'll be able to go as deep as you because they'll understand you, right? Because there's something about healing and safety and comfort associated with what you need in order to truly be healthy and thriving in an intimate connection. Okay, all right, let me see what I'm gonna pull from now. You know what, I'll pull from this love deck. Why not? Because I want to get a couple of codes. I don't want these to be too long, guys, and I promise you it's not the last. Like, I'll do more of these unless something chaotic happens. Okay, I think that's a cat, hilariously enough. Let's see. Tell me more about the watermelon sorbet. Yeah. Quality time means putting away the phone and clearing your brain of anything distracting so you can ensure your partner is your number one focus. Very, very attentive. And that's part of what makes, when you're with the misalignment, when you're with someone that's not sexually compatible with you, or just compatible in general, you either are draining, right, or overstimulating, which, again, two responses of the same thing, because you need time, you need care, you need attention. I mentioned you may not necessarily need the foreplay, but you definitely need the aftercare. You see what I'm saying? Like, you need attention, you need intimacy, literally in its purest definition. So you're thriving where it's reciprocated. There's tons of people like this, because think of how many people are picking your group, right? So you're not an anomaly, but you seem to need to know to not seek partners that are disengaged like that, because I don't like seeing the Four of Cups ending this spread of all of this passion. Because why are you in that? Like, why did you fizzle that out like that, right? We got a breakup, right? You may find connections end due to not getting enough of your needs met. You may find yourself, you may perceive yourself as someone that wants a lot. I'm slowing down with this pile because I'm not gonna lie, like that solar plexus is hot. Like the energy of this pile is really hot. That's why I'm like pausing and doing the thing, because I'm starting to sweat a little bit just by nature of the pile, because it's a lot of energy. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me see. Let me get one more in the bottom. But yeah, your breakups are due to quote unquote neediness, being draining, or overstimulated. Tell me I'm lying. Yeah, because you're very devoted. Like that solar plexus, you're very devoted. And like you need someone that's going to be as devoted to you as you are them. And so you're going to thrive in those connections where that's reciprocated. Okay, so what is it you need to know? Like, let me see if I can get to our question before I get to this other deck. Your energy. Okay. When you're not in your highest frequency sexually, like if you're dealing with somebody, I don't want to say that you shouldn't be dealing with, but that you're over compromising with, that you're misaligned with, you're going to feel possibly drained, low on energy, disengaged. You may actually lose libido, like you may lose your desire for intimacy, because you'll be in a frequency of shame, because you'll feel like you need too much, you're doing too much, right? So that's how you'll know. You won't have energy. If you're the type that likes fitness, you won't have energy for the gym. You won't have energy to keep up with your appearance. You'll lack confidence in general. You'll lack passion in general if you're consistently aligned with someone that can't keep up with that energy. Because that frequency, think of it this way: if you have all this passion and then someone you're having sexual relations with just can't keep up with you, now you're putting them in a frequency of shame. Like your energy is too bright, your solar plexus is too bright, so now they don't feel as good, so the whole vibe is off. You're throwing off the energy, not you, but the situation and the circumstances. So both parties are just in an energy of shame and embarrassment, and like that's what I get on a table when you're dealing with people that you have more energy than. Okay. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, it made me slightly nauseated in my solar plexus. So you may feel that, like you may start having like stomach pain, stomach aches, issues with your solar plexus. You may start getting like acid reflux. You may start getting heartburn. Like it just feels like stomach acid problems and all of that when you're dealing with someone. Because remember, as above, so below, right? In spirit, if we're in distress up there, we're in distress mentally, which manifests in our physical body. So just, yeah. All right, let me just take this bottom. Have faith is here. Someone that just really trusts you, connects with you, you need a partner that's devoted as you are. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm not gonna lie, I need to get out of your energy because it's like the sun. It's like being outside on a hot day. I love it. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Make sure though that you're balancing, because what I find is that sometimes people with this energy, I can feel it now, if you have a partner that can't match it, you start burning more, right? Like because it'll fizzle out with them, but like it'll start burning in other areas. So like you might start having anger issues, right? Might start being real irritable because you're with a partner that's not in alignment with your true being, right? Like people like that start getting real grouchy, like the Emperor, real mean, real aggressive in other ways, because there's no way to channel that energy. There's no way to channel that power, right? Because a lot of power. If you don't know, Pile 1, 18 plus aside, I know y'all love these readings. You can do a lot in life. This is the pile of you can be a lot in life, okay? If you don't know that. We got new beginnings with new moon, and we've got the blessing moon. I don't know why I put this down. I think we're done because I just decided. But we have contentment of the blessing moon and the new beginnings. So you in your healthiest expression of your sexual energies, you feel completely blessed, completely content. You're able to create and manifest with ease, right? You don't have issues getting things off the ground because the spark is there already, right? You're being actively stimulated in it. You're trained to get things up off the ground, literally, pun intended, right? So let me get you some advice and I'll close you out because, yeah, you're a little longer of a pile, but that's all right. That's okay. Look, you got the power. You are that group. You know, I may do another series where we talk about really channeling your sexual energy and just using it to create and manifest. In general, I don't know if I'll get to that or when or how, but you need to be on standby for if that comes about, because the Emperor, solar plexus, and willpower, you just need to just keep. This is a pile. Your key advice: do not dim or shrink your sexual expression. Now, I'm not saying move in an unhealthy way. I'm saying find a partner that can match your intensity. There's nothing wrong with you if you have a history of chasing people that just can't match. If you're dominant like this, like if you're like a person that chases and you like to be in control, so you chase people that you feel like you can be in control of, that's kind of how you end up in situations where they can't keep up with your energy. You might need to be chasing other people that are like that, okay? People that can match your own intensity, okay? Because that's might be the issue. But look at that sunflower of happiness. Ooh, look at all of this solar plexus energy. Solar energy. If you're feeling low on energy, make sure you're doing some solar plexus work, okay? This is a pile. You need to prioritize your solar plexus around the next month or so of you finding this reading, okay? All right, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm going to move along to pile number 2. All right, pile number 2, my green grape sorbet. Let's see how you can identify when you're in a healthy love, divine union, following sensual, sexual, intimate encounters, right? What's your energy like when you're doing something right in that situation? What's it like when you're dealing with somebody that you probably need to leave alone, right? So I have at the bottom already here the fertility card, and when you're in a healthy, intimate connection, I'll say it like that, right? Or if you're just consistently having sex with somebody, you should be. That would be healthy for you. You're going to feel very, very creative. And when we see the word fertility, just know that may be literal for some of you. Like, you're going to feel very, like, healthy. Might have like a slip up, you know what I mean? Like, so do be mindful, because when you're in alignment with someone that you should, like, if you like, basically, I haven't pulled cards yet, but I can already channel that this is a pile. This is the group that should be selective when it comes to, I'm not telling y'all what to do. Y'all get mad at me in the comments sometimes, but just based on your energy, if this is your pile, it feels like you may need to be a little more selective, because when you step in to a healthy soulmate, it's immediate creative energy. Like, I'm ready to create, I'm ready to manifest, I might be ready to have a kid. Your body may naturally, just in the human design that it is, like, you are a human mammal, like, it may tell itself that it's ready for the next steps of like having a child, whether you are or not. So you do need to be mindful with your energy already. So let me see. I'm trying to watch my language too. I'm going to be honest with y'all, but the message is clear. You're going to feel very creative and fertile when you're dealing with a healthy soulmate. All right. So tell me more about this green grape sorbet. Is it divine union? Throat chakra. Very expressive. Okay. Look, fertile, right? And I know that when we talk about genders and we talk about expressions, like, yes, masculines can be fertile too, but I was already kind of feeling it a little bit with this one, right? Like, coming into the pile after clearing the energy space for it, we got a divine feminine here, and we have a very vocal one. So whether that's you, whether that's the other side of what you should be aligning with, right? Doesn't matter, because you will be very receptive, very comfortable, very expressive as an individual when you are in a healthy, intimate connection like that. So I find when we talk about sexual expression and in the course of intimacy, with the right partner, you're more receptive, right? You're more submissive. I'm not talking day-to-day life. I'm talking about intimacy. That's how you'll know. You'll naturally feel comfortable, right? Especially when we talk about my divine feminines actually in label, right? You'll be more receptive. Don't eat me up in the comments. I'm reading the energy, okay? But that's kind of where we are, right? Being very vocal, very receptive, intimately. Now, your energy will flourish because something about your lifestyle, when you're in a healthy relationship for this power, I don't care about y'all's gender, I don't care about any of that, and you heightening your divine feminine essence, something about everything you need to create just comes very naturally to you. You may find that when you're in the healthiest of connections, you don't have to work very hard. Like nothing's really changed other than your partner. Maybe you have a supportive partner. Maybe the person you're just dealing with casually is just really good to you. But something about your divine feminine side, when you're in a healthy soulmate connection, everything just comes. What you say you want, you get. What you say you need, you get. Anything you're trying to manifest in a spiritual sense comes to you naturally. Anything you've been working on comes to you naturally. Okay? So I like it because it just feels like harmonious flow. But the polarity is when you're dealing with someone you probably shouldn't be, that's a blockage. Nothing seems to go right. Everything seems to go wrong, right? There's a lot of miscommunications in the connection. You start losing confidence in the things you need to communicate and express day to day. So you may have a lot of miscommunications with the people around you, especially your closest relationships. Like you may have blockages regarding like you may have conflict with like family, friends, other people that are more feminine in expression, just in general. Right? Yet you may be more combative and misunderstood in that area when you're with the wrong partner. I see all of those karmic. This feels like when you're messing with someone you should not be messing with. It's the karmic down. Exactly what you expect to hear in a karmic connection. Because I see a lot of conflict and blockages and miscommunications associated with receiving. And you absolutely are the pile that would be depleted by a partner, because when we talk about our voice, think of think of the Little Mermaid, right? Like that was a key theme, right? Like she gave up her voice. That's what it feels like. This, when you're dealing with somebody you shouldn't have to deal with. You may start having a sore throat. You may have like respiratory, lung issues, all of those associated with the throat. You may have issues with like hearing, right? Like, because it feels like someone whose voice is just not, you may be a little more soft-spoken, not as expressive, just in general. All of that's coming through when you're not dealing with the right person intimately. Yeah, I got the power at the bottom. It's like you kind of give your power away quite literally. What was I going to say there? Let me see if I can find it back. See, I'm like forgetful. I'm like, what was I going to say? I don't even know what I was going to say. You probably don't even remember what you're going to say half the time. Like very forgetful. Things like that when you're dealing with the wrong type of partner. Let's see. It's okay. We'll pull more cards. Yeah, we'll pull more cards. It's time to pull more cards. I just got so much from here. I was shocked. Tell me, like immediately, like this is how you know you're not dealing with the right person. Tell me more about this green grape sorbet. How do they know? Yeah, so listen, I'm going to be so honest with you. Everything I just said, oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Divine feminine is where we kind of are heightened and we kind of make sure we're receiving everything we need. We're well nourished. We're well taken care of physically, mentally, emotionally. So like you're the type of person, you start looking a little rough. when you're dealing with somebody you shouldn't be dealing with. Like if you notice like you're on a decline physically, like how you look, person's like draining you. Okay, because I got the Three of Cups, which talks about rejoice and celebration. If you're dealing with the right partner, it feels collaborative. So you're the type of person that genuinely does merge with your partners, which is why you need to be more mindful with your and selective, because you merge. It just is what it is. Some people do, some people don't. You learn how to manage it if you are like that. But if this person's thriving, you're thriving. Okay? If this person's not thriving, you're not thriving. Like you're very interconnected with your partners in that way. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm looking at this Three of Cups. I don't even think that this is a pile where you need to worry about the person draining you to get ahead, because the way your energy works sexually, if you're having sex with somebody and they're doing good, they'll keep doing good, you'll elevate too, and they'll start doing better possibly. But like if they're already doing bad, they're just gonna drag you down. Like it's not like they're gonna drain you and do better, right? Not while you're with them, at least. It just feels like they'll just drag you down with them because you're so receptive to your environment. Because Three of Cups is friends and collaboration and connectivity. That's what it feels like, okay? So, yeah, see, because look, spiritual union here. That's what I'm saying. So, tell me more about my green grape sorbet. How do they know? Listen. I love that the cards back me when I'm talking so that y'all can't be mad at me. This is that pile of the more divine feminine leaning. Okay, the previous one was the opposite. It was so hot I had to go get water. Okay, this one, that's not you. I don't care about your gender. Like when it comes to your sexual sensual expression, you're more divine feminine aligned, or you need to be more conscious of your divine feminine side when it comes to your sexual energy and the way you're intimate with other people. I got 21 reducing to 3, 3, 3. Okay, so fertility is back because we did have it at the bottom at the beginning. You do need to watch that because I keep saying it. You're more likely to create life when you connect with the right person. And I don't even say the wrong person because it's possible, but your fertility seems to be connected to your celebratory energy. A lot of green here, right? Like you picked the green. Yeah, you did. Right. So basically your heart chakra lighting up, you feeling fertile, you feeling creative, you feeling nurtured, you feeling receptive. Very easy to create a life, this pile. Okay. And I think the underlying thing that, okay, that's why they're making me keep saying it over and over again. The underlying thing here, and like obviously go see y'all's medical professionals and things like that where you feel like you're having health concerns. Because I'm not even like one of those, I kind of am, whatever. It's fine. I was going to say I'm not one of those like baby predictors, doulas. So fun fact, that was actually one of my first psychic gifts, was predicting babies. Just predicting what oh, you pregnant, this what you having. But I don't do that like on here and stuff like that. But if you're having issues with fertility, it may be the partner. So I'm just, you just make sure that you see your medical professionals and things like that, okay? Because somebody here needed to know, like, the fertility thing it's connected to the connection directly, literally, right? It's not that. So let me see. Yeah, you're going to experience delays with fertility in all areas of life if you're dealing with what people call a karmic. Okay, that's how you know. When we talk about you being consistently intimate with someone that's labeled as what people are calling a karmic, you lose your fertility in many, many ways. It's not even like you see how her hair is like flowing. Some of y'all going to start having thinning hair, lackluster skin. It feels like literally draining. And I feel it. Okay, this is the one where I know you got throat chakra, which was there to signify your voice, but heart is all over the table. And I feel it in this group, okay? So you're going to have a lot of delays regarding any success, right? Because the opposite side was you're dealing with a healthy soulmate, you fertile, you so fertile, you might be creating things you didn't intend to, didn't realize you were creating, right? Because of that's how fertile the connection is and the energy between you two. You start getting recognized and rewarded with things you weren't looking to be rewarded with, right? You may notice your life speeds up when you're in a healthy connection, but because again, it's going to slow down when you're not. Because like some of you meet the right partner tomorrow, and like you start like getting in your routine, you get to know this person, and then you start being intimate consistently, and you're like, man, I've been working on these things for years. And then next thing I know, like you may start calling this person like your good luck charm, because now you're consistently seeing results with things that you've been trying to do for years. Like that's how you'll know. Like you will be glowing, right? Yeah, you definitely benefit. But this is the contrast from this and the other energy is that you will be glowing, but that like you need, it's a one person. It's not a, this isn't a pile of sexual intimacy just for the sake of sexual intimacy and feeling good. Oh, you like this person, that's your friend, your friends with benefits. No, this is a divine feminine energy, which means that either this divine feminine on the table is you, or you need to be aligning as a masculine with divine feminines, because that's going to keep you fertile. That's going to keep you healthy. It's going to be mutual, right? So tell me more about this green grape sorbet. I apologize if I feel like I'm dragging and I'm like throwing off the energy. It hit me in my chest. I haven't done readings like this in a really long time, and I I think it's because I'm so Pluto in nature. I can see it, right? We got Aquarius. All right. Originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. That's that creative energy. So, yeah. So, I've got Aries on one side, I've got Aquarius on the other, and if you're creative in any way, like if anything you do is creative, any art, any projects, like if you're into like technology, social media, anything you can make, that heightens when you're consistently intimate with the right type of partner. Like this is the initiating cardinal energy of fire. This is where we have technology and that quirky aspect of us where we can actually see ahead, have that foresight, create something completely new. Like that's where you unlock your power, is being in a right union. And again, a very specific one, because we got the Empress and we have the Divine Feminine. So where you are the Empress, Divine Feminine on my table, that counterpart where you're like, I don't know why all this divine feminine hit the table. I'm as masculine comes. If that's you, then how do you know if it's love? How do you know if it's a divine union? Literally divine feminine. That's what you need to be prioritizing. You need to pull back your energy unless you're certain that's what you're dealing with, because again, it's going to deplete you. And it's not, and then it's going to be for nothing. The reason why it slightly annoyed me when it hit the table, because at least if the person was draining you and getting ahead, it'd be worth it. But no, this person just brings you down with them when you're dealing with karmics. It's not a specific one. Okay. So let me pull from this deck and get ready to close you out. See, give me 1 second. I want to make sure I don't lose sight of the thumbnail. All right. My green grape sorbet. Tell me more about how do you know. Yeah, so look, you're gonna, like, you know, if you're dealing with a karmic, you're gonna feel not the best. You're not gonna feel good. You're gonna feel like, I won't say like you're dying, but it literally will feel like you're drained. Because I have freedom, right? Which is that creative expression of the throat chakra. Some of you may notice you sound better. You sound better when you're having intimate relations with someone that's good for you. Literally, the sound of your voice will change, be more clear and more powerful, okay? But when we talk about that creation, that innovation, that playfulness, that excitement, you'll feel a lot more social. Even if you're an introvert, you'll feel a lot more social when you're consistently intimate with someone that's nurturing to you. Okay? I'm even seeing the right connection will make you closer with your friends and family. Because I mentioned the opposite, obviously. So let me pull more and see. Y'all better watch it though, because yeah, I got devotion here. Okay, I do have, let me just fix myself. I have devotion, but I got, look at all that green and stuff. We got the seed moon of new growth. When I talk about like how you're gonna know if you're consistently dealing with like a divine feminine, divine masculine in this pile, you're gonna feel real creative. You might end up being real creative, whether that's something you plan for or not. So you better watch it. Let me see. Tell me more. You got reflect. Yeah, this is some these people will reflect back at you. So the healthier soulmates. I say people. This is a power where it is a person, right? It will be a very specific type of person that will be reflecting your energy back to you, because it seems like you'll be connected enough to where you're elevating together, or in the worst sense, failing together, right? I've got the honeymoon of productivity here. The most obvious way you'll be able to tell won't even be sensual. This will be someone that mirrors your productivity to you. You won't even have to get to the point of knowing intimately, like this person's gonna drain me. You'll be able to tell, because this feels like a pile where you're very productive, right? If you know you're a person that has drive and ambition, and you're dealing with somebody that seems to lack that, boom, draining immediately. You don't even have to get to the point of testing it out to see. I wouldn't encourage that, because they're going to reflect your productivity to you. And I like to see it in an 18 plus reading, because it feels like someone that's going to give equal effort sensually. Like, you're not going to have to be overly active or receptive. You'll match, you'll mirror, okay? You'll be equally satisfied. That's probably how we got all this creation on the table. So you better make sure you're ready, or you protect yourself, because like I said, creative energy on the table. I know how y'all get in the comments. Financial security will be a huge deal. Like prioritize that, obviously, because fertility, which is the Empress, is ruled by the sign of Taurus of money. You're not gonna, when I say this person's gonna deplete you in the worst way, if you're dealing with a karmic or someone you just shouldn't be messing with, you'll notice you have fewer opportunities financially, right? Or you'll notice they drain you financially. You're just not gonna have as much financially as either you did on your own, or that you should, given what you're doing, okay? And again, the creative essence will flourish in the healthiest divine union, because money's just gonna fall out of trees, I guess, literally, okay? But ground and be stable, and make sure you stay grounded in your own energy. Luna is more divine feminine essence, so ground your divine feminine side. I don't care how you identify, ground your divine feminine side, so that you're not overly receptive to the wrong types of energy. Because if you stay grounded, this is a pile where you won't make it to the sexual sensual encounters that you shouldn't be in, because you'll notice ahead, right? You'll be grounded, you'll be stable enough to know you're dealing with somebody that doesn't have drive, you're dealing with somebody that doesn't keep up with themselves, you're giving your energy to someone that doesn't care about their health. Like, there's a lot of red flags before you get to sex that I need you to catch, so that you don't get dragged down with people. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close you out and move along to pile number 3. All right. Pile 3, my coconut sorbet. Soon as I locked in with your energy. So how do you know if it's divine union after an intimate encounter, right? Like, is it love? You will know. It won't be a question. And I'll tell you why. If drunk on love is an actual experience, that's how you'll know. And I say that because as soon as I stepped into this pile 3, I got a wave in my heart chakra, but it wasn't like I normally get with the other energies, right? It was more of it was a healing. It wasn't a trauma healing. It was more of a weight lifting. Like I could almost feel it like fluttering out of my chest when I started to channel for this pile. And then it was more of I got real sleepy. Like I got sleepy in this pile, but it wasn't like I'm drained, depleted. I felt more relaxed and like wind down. It was more of a comfortable, peaceful rest. So I don't know what it is about y'all selecting this group, but you needed me to tell you that exact feeling. And I'm assuming that it's right immediately after any intimacy you have. If you don't feel that, I guess that's not it. But it feels like drunk on love. It's like, I don't know if it's a high or an under the influence. I'm using the words drunk on love because that's the only thing I could associate with it. Like I don't know another way to describe the energy I just felt. So yeah, and maybe it's the realization. I think here I have the love begins. So it's like maybe it's the feeling of falling in love, right? But like it doesn't feel like falling in love. Like falling in love is not as intensive of that, or maybe pure, true, divine love, right? Maybe we don't know that yet. So let me see. Tell me more about this pile 3. What's going on with this coconut sorbet? Is it love, divine union, all of the stuff, right? What is this? Peace, because it did feel like a wave of peace and relief. I'll give it that. Discernment. Yeah. Okay. So this is just me making you aware. You need what I just channeled is to support you and your discernment. You should feel good, at peace, comfortable, following any intimate relations. Okay. If you feel all drained, depleted, like you just did a job, I don't support that, because that's not the wave of energy that I'm sitting in right now. I feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like I could get some good rest, but it feels healthy. It doesn't feel like all drained. Okay. So let me get you an overview. Like you're supposed to be feeling peaceful, okay? So tell me more about this coconut sorbet and how they know what type of connection they're dealing with following consistent intimacy. You either, okay. Some of y'all, they're like, we told you what you need to know. Some of you, I don't know, maybe I'm probably going to end up repeating myself. You got a miracle, number 33, and number 22, the divine masculine. So you may be seeing master numbers. Okay. I love how the piles, everybody's energy is so good today. Okay, good for y'all. But you're going to feel like you've stepped into your divine masculine energy, or you're going to feel like you're dealing with a divine masculine, depending on where you fall. And it's going to feel like a miracle. I'm telling you, I felt it in my heart space. I'm not like, I know what I'm talking about. Look, realization is back from the bottom, but you've got miracle and divine masculine. That's what it's going to feel like. It's a miracle you found your divine masculine. It's a miracle you stepped into your divine masculine energy. Like, you're going to feel at peace, at home, at one with this person and the universe. Like, I think the reason why it took so long to get my first couple of cards is because we got a firm foundation and love begins. Like, it's not like all this thinking and all this interpreting. You're not going to need to do all this thinking and interpreting when it's right for this group. Like, Like, this is a group you don't need the readings. You need to just follow your energy levels when you're dealing with people, okay? So tell me more about my coconut sorbet. How do they know? Like, it's gonna feel like a miracle. It feels like a miracle when you're dealing with a healthy soulmate or twin flame divine union, right? We've got the Fool of New Beginnings. Like, not to be dramatic, but you know that drunk on love feeling I described? Like, honestly, this may be like, after, especially after like your first intimate experience with a person that this healthy energy aligns with, you probably like, I found my person. Like, this is what I feel connected to the universe. Like, you may realize you're in love with this person, because like, it will feel that intense. It will be very clear, all these questions, all this thinking, and it'll feel like steps. Like I mentioned, you got master numbers on the table, 22, 33, and now we've got 0, 1. At the bottom, I've got obstacles and changes. Any hardships are like past. It's over with. Everything is right in the world because you're connecting with this person, right? The awareness card is the Magician. You know, I got a lot of air signs, so a lot of thinking, a lot of fluttering. So I mentioned the heart chakra and all of that energy. I just want to make you all aware, the heart space is actually, it's ruled by air energy, and we do have Aquarius and Gemini, both 2 air signs here. So something about the fluttering heart is a really big deal when we talk about how you know, okay? So let me see more. And you know, I'm also getting an energy here that's interesting and a little bit different. I wouldn't be surprised if this was my inexperienced pile. I'll give you that. If you're picking this pile, you're in the right place, right space, and everyone can participate. But even if, let's say you've had multiple partners, right, throughout your life, it feels like you're not the type of person energetically, and I don't know if it's this miraculous divine energy. You got 2 major arcana here. You're not going to get depleted, overstimulated by anyone that you shouldn't be dealing with sexually, because it doesn't look like they get that many opportunities. Like, either you just have the discernment, the awareness of, I didn't like it, I don't like it, I'm not interested, let me not do it anymore, or just something happens to where circumstances, divine intervention happens to where if you're not supposed to be dealing with someone sexually, it only happens once, or may not even happen if you intend for it to happen. Like, something happened to where you just never got to that point of the connection, or, you know, just something chaotic happened in a moment and it just didn't happen. There was a distraction, a call, something. Like, it feels like yeah, see? Look at that. This is the Star of Hope. It just doesn't feel like it really gets very far. It doesn't feel like it gets far enough to negatively impact you. You've been a very blessed person when we talk about your sexual sensual energy. I don't know if you realize that. Some of you are like, well, I'm inexperienced. That's probably why. Well, I mean, if you are, then good. It's for a reason. You've got 3 universal cards on the table. And at the bottom, I've got the 3 of Cups, which is rejoicing, celebration, which talks about like the right partner coming along when they come along, because it's supposed to be healthy. It's going to be divine. Okay. You're not going to have all of the baggage of a lot of the other piles. You're not going to have all of the baggage that most people that need these readings have. So good for you. But you're going to know, like, based off of all the things that I said, it's just, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel celebratory. Like, it just feels miraculous. Let me just keep pulling cards for this group. But it does feel like my pile of delays when it comes to intimacy. Okay, I did pause for a second for a variety of reasons, but it just feels like delays, possibly setbacks. I know some of y'all that are in channel memberships literally had a conversation about this at one point, and I am supposed to do a reading. Maybe that's reminding me to do that reading about any delays in love and romance and things like that, okay? Because this is that group. I have lots of 3 still here, and I have Mars and Miracle, so M. And then opposition, look at that. Mars is where we are active in our energy. Oppositions where we have those issues. If you have any oppositions to Mars in your natal chart, that may actually represent some delays with your sexual energy, if I'm being honest. Especially those of you that may be a little more divine masculine. Any oppositions, it's more of a delay, right? It's more of a setback, but it's not a blockage, because a blockage is bad, right? If you have any of those aspects, like oppositions to Mars in areas that may be contributing to this, that's developmental. It's basically areas for you to grow and evolve so that you're ready for the type of connection that you're seeking here. Because this Mars opposition is exactly what I described when I said you probably have delays. You probably, if it's something chaotic with a person you shouldn't be dealing with, like there's like it either doesn't happen or happens once, twice, maybe 3 times. Like it doesn't happen enough. You're not intimate with them enough times for it to really impact you in a way that it might for other people dealing with someone that has that same energy towards them, right? So you'll know when it's right because it will be aligned. There won't be all of the opposition. You'll be able to go without the roadblocks, without the setbacks, without the delays, when the timing is right, though. Because this Mars opposition is standing out to me as something that's in your chart. Like when you're ready, when you're at the certain maturity level for the type of connection that would align with the intimacy you're seeking. Because you do feel like that group. I'm not like trying to expose you. You feel like the group that kind of needs to be in love to really enjoy sex with somebody anyway. So I mean, it's for your highest good. So tell me more about my pile. Yeah, I got incoming energy of memories. Yeah, definitely letter M is a thing, okay? You got memories. Laughter. How you'll know when you're dealing with what you're supposed to be dealing with. You'll reflect on it a lot. It'll make you smile. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you giggle. Even when the person's not around, you'll be able to reflect on it and it'll be positive. That's how I know this is my pile that's possibly not as experienced. I'm not trying to expose y'all. It's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. That is a human experience too. It's literally nothing wrong with that. But the reminder, the memories, reflecting on the sexual encounter, smiling to yourself, laughing about it in your head, like that's how you'll know. Because it will be something that you enjoy. It'll be a positive memory. It feels like someone that doesn't have a lot of positive sensual memories. I want to get one more in the bottom. 2 more. Yeah, so soulmate and a survive. Boom. I don't know what else to tell you. Like you'll know. It's not, this is a pile where it's like, it's not rocket science. We got emotional support here. Tell me more. What is this? Look at me. I got a you may you know, it feels like it'll be a rebirth. I'll tell you that, because like I said, especially by you being like less experienced and things like that, it feels like you're that group where it will change you a little bit, possibly just maturity levels and things like that. So I've got envision, which is awareness, similar vibe. 0, 1, 2. It'll be like steps. Milestones, steps, that's what it feels like. And you'll see motion in life, right? Like you'll see things change, you'll see things evolve. Let me get one more. I'll take it. No, because I don't feel like going through the motions of all of those cards. So you'll feel very particular. If you are a person that's very particular, if you're feeling very particular, you're supposed to be that way. Do not change because you feel like you should either be more experienced or more active sexually, whatever it is. Don't lean into that. Lean into what feels natural to you. It's funny because I had a pile that was a little more divine masculine leaning, and it was very, very active, right? Like it was a very, very active energy, but this one is not, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Hold on, we got something peeking at us. Yeah, look at you. We've got rejuvenate. So you'll feel rejuvenated, you'll feel satisfied, you'll feel at peace. I got another one out here just peeking at me. Where is it? This is manifest. When did I put all these in here wrong? When did I do that? Yeah, look at that. I got release. What else is in here all wrong? I think that's it. And at the bottom, I've got dream. Yeah, it's going to feel like a dream. That's what I was feeling, that floating and fluttery heart in my chest. Like, it's going to feel like a dream. It's going to feel like a miracle. You'll manifest very easily. Like, it'll be a release in a healthy way, peaceful. Everything I channeled at the beginning, that's how you'll know you're dealing with somebody that you should be dealing with. But for this pile, the karmics, they don't really have as much access to you as they do to others for whatever reason. So you'll know you're dealing with a karmic because you're not going to be able to have sex with them. You're not going to be able to have it more than one time. Something crazy is going to happen. I don't know. It just feels like divine intervention when it comes to you and your energy. So I don't know if you just, like, I know there's the joke on the internet of a praying grandmother. There's like the joke of like spiritual protection, like being real woo and like having your aura like really shielded. But you don't have these heavy sexual energy, like sexual karmic energies that other people have. Like, I'm not saying you don't deal with karmics. I'm not saying people don't hurt your feelings. I'm not saying your life is perfect, but something about when it comes to like your sexual intimate encounters, you're very protected in that. Look, boom, like I don't make that up. You gotta banish a curse. Like keep whatever protection work you have around you. If you were raised in a real woo-woo religion that's very active in that way, then you were raised with that protection. Even if you were raised in like an Abrahamic faith, it feels like the prayer of protection. Maybe your elders prayed over you and you just, I don't know. It feels like banish a curse. You don't have to worry about it. Okay? And growth of energy. Boom. So when people leave before you can be intimate with them or shortly after, let them go. That is protection at play. That is divine protection at play. You banish the curse and you keep your energy heightened, okay? So I'm going to close you out and move along to pile number 4. All right, pile 4, my Cantaloupe Mint Sorbet. And I did label it as peach as well because it just was so loud when I saw it. So some of you definitely wanted that, so I'll give you that option. I don't want to alarm you when I mention the shadow of what already came through, because when I channeled it, I'm like, well, what's going on? Why is it like that? This is one of the best piles I guess I could have ever read for this, because I'm mid shuffle with the reset for the overview, but like I kept seeing the tower and things like that. So just be mindful that you have to, like, your karmics will be very clear once revealed, and that's what makes them so dangerous. It's like in hindsight, it's very obviously what people refer to as karmics, energy vampires, things like that, because it is absolutely someone that could ruin your life. Like, it's someone that could weaponize your sexual energy against you. It's someone that could make you sick, right? Like with a sexually transmitted disease or something like that. It's someone that could weaponize your fertility by, like, you know, getting you pregnant or getting pregnant on purpose, things like that. Like, it's someone that would weaponize your sexual energy in a way that may permanently scar you, right? Like that. I feel like some of the things I listed could permanently scar a person. So that's why the karmics coming through are so dark. Because when I asked why you giving me the tower to describe this pile, I'll show you. I'll just let you see where I'm at. I just stopped mid shuffle, right? Mid shuffle, exactly. You can see divine masculine, divine feminine here. So already I cleansed decks in reverse. So I've got our advice deck we'll use at the end. It already has union. So it's got union here. Let me see. What's the next one I use? I use this one. The corn moon of abundance is here. So when we talk about being very abundant in the union, I've got divine union. Come on. How you'll know? You'll very obviously know. You got union. Like, come on, you'll obviously know when you're dealing with someone you should be dealing with. Because I think I had 2 piles today where it was very clear, like, you got to be more protective, more particular about who you share your energy with, right? And if you pick both of them, then that's just a doubling down of that energy. But I mean, I don't know that I've ever gotten these all together. So I just had to pause. and let y'all see, because I know how y'all are. Y'all love those labels. We've got the South Node, which talks about past lives. So that is past lives. So this feels like the pile that believes in twin flame journey, or should, because I don't judge, and maybe you should, because everybody you've interacted with sexually or is coming in to interact with you sexually is some type of past life tie, whether it is a karmic or whether it's a leading you to divine union of some form. Okay, that's what's on my table. What's at the bottom here? I've got the destiny. So Wheel of Fortune of Destiny. You see what I'm saying? That's the energy that's on the table for this group. So it did throw me off at first because I was concerned. I was like, oh, why is all that coming out? You know, I know it's 18 plus, but I don't want to be like that. But for whatever reason, see, I mentioned weaponizing your fertility. See, sacral chakra here, which rules your fertility. You'll be very, very fertile, very, very creative with your soulmate. I'll even say twin flame here. It's just that the karmics are so intense and so dark that I don't know that this poly would even have the discernment to see it until it's too late. And I don't like that. I got Gaia and the solar plexus. So Gaia talks about being infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Listen, I mentioned birth and creation of life and things like that, and the power of the solar plexus. So the difference between yeah, now that I stepped into this pile, I'm getting a little hungry. I did pause, but like, just to pick up on my last point, the difference, and it does tie into how I'm feeling. Like, I know I'm like all over the place. Just give me a second, because your pile is like that, because I'm feeling hungry now, right? Like starving, needing meal. I didn't too long ago eat, but I'm gonna eat again because your pile is depleting me. Like a karmic, whatever you want to call an energy vampire, negative entity via a person, will strip you of your power, whereas the opposite will pour more life into you, uplift your power. So it feels like a pile where it is that extreme of your sexual power either being weaponized against you or being heightened and liberated and creative. Okay, so just be mindful of who you're dealing with, because when we talk about your sexual intimate encounters will always have the potential to change the entire course of your life and destiny. If you pick the other pile where I mentioned being more selective like that, it may have been two, but there's one I'm really thinking of. You pick both, you do what I said. I'm not like, don't get mad at me for telling you what to do, but the wrong karmic in terms of sexual intimacy will literally change the course of your destiny. I don't want to make you scared, because the right soulmate, twin flame, whatever, will change the course of your destiny in the most amazing, miraculous way. I actually think the pile I'm thinking of has the miracle card. So if you pick both, you know what I'm talking about. I paused between, so I really don't know which one it was. I just remember doing it. So let me see. Tell me more about pile 4. My Cantaloupe, Mint, Peach, Sorbet, pile. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I mentioned in the intro, I don't want y'all to feel like this is to take away your power, or this reading is to make you afraid of your own personal power, but it's more of a needing discernment with who you're dealing with and how. Because this is actually a pile that actually has me a little more concerned when it comes to that. Okay, we've got recognition and reward, positive movement forward. So pentacles, I mentioned shifting things in the earth, right? And Gaia is more like earth-based energy. So when we talk about the 3 of Pentacles of collaboration and connecting, and the 8 of Pentacles, which talks about efficiency, connecting with the right partner is going to elevate you and change your potential in the best, most amazing way physically, right? This is physical connections, physical elevation in the 3D, which is why the shadow is so tower-like, is because like some, there's a lot of groups that I could have read where the wrong sexual partner may throw you off emotionally, may scar you mentally, may give you trust issues, leave you spiritually wounded, may even make you lose a little bit financially. But I don't know that I saw the energy here where it could be like your health, the entire trajectory of your life. You see what I'm saying? Like, you were headed here and now you're down here. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's more alarming on the shadow, because I feel like, must be the truth, I feel like you should see some red flags. You got all these red cards ahead of where that's happening, because we got the transformation card of death, right? Not don't be scared of death, right? Like, it's a deeply transformative card, which means the right partner will completely transform you in your power and confidence in the most amazing way. The sign of Scorpio rules the 8th house. That's inheritances, right? It's the transition of inheritances too. So it could feel like stumbling upon a romantic partner that feels like a jackpot, a really lucky partner, not just financially, but a partner that really takes care of you and puts you in the best position for success as an individual, because 9 of Pentacles is material harvest, right? Feels like the right type of person in the right situation with the right types of connections, the right type of skills, talents, stable on their own. Like, because this is all material, physical energy. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave it alone now when it comes to the other side. I just wanted to be cognizant of it. Okay. Because the lighter side is that twin flame, soulmate, divine union. I keep looking for more of the sensual intimacy, like themes you would associate with this pile. And I just can't get past the screaming energy. Like, in my energy as I'm reading this, I keep getting the wave of physical changes, material, physical plane, 3D. Like, that's what's screaming in my energy right now as I'm in this pile. So, like, I'm needing to emphasize, like, everything associated with how to tell, everything associated with your energy is always going to be physical changes, transitions, transformations. How does your life change with this person in your life as you're intimate with them? Are you elevating? Are you failing? Because the more you're intimate with these people in this pile, the more you'll trend in the other direction. So if you're dealing with someone you shouldn't be dealing with, it'll be the steady decline. No ups. If you're dealing with someone you should be dealing with, it'll be steady incline, like steady increase, okay? So let me see. Give me more about the cantaloupe mint or peach sorbet. Tell me about their energy, and tell me about the material changes with the intimacy, because luck, the planet of luck, of growth and expansion. I know what I'm talking about, like growth and expansion. You'll know you're dealing with a healthy person, because following intimacy, you'll see material changes. House 5 is the house of joy, pleasure, passion. It's children. You know what I mean? Like, you'll have children, but it'll be a good, healthy extension of your family. Like, you'll want the children. You know what I'm saying? Like, the children will be children that were wanted, that are elevating the connection. Like, I know we're talking about physical people, but we know a lot of times there are a lot of chaotic and traumatic circumstances surrounding people having children, right? Feeling very lucky, right? House 5 is a house of romance, right? It feels, everything in house 5 feels good and expands there where we're in a healthy connection. Technically, that's solar plexus energy, like Leo solar energy, okay? And more fire of Jupiter, feeling very, very lucky. You'll feel very, very lucky when you're consistently having sex with someone that's healthy for you, okay? Versus feeling downtrodden when we're talking about the opposite. So tell me more, right? Because even the themes on those material, on these pentacles, right? Because these are 3 pentacles, for those of you that don't know. Like, pentacles rule our money and our assets and things like that. You know, are you getting more recognition and reward? Are you seeing positive movement forward? Do you have a material harvest, right? So tell me, communication. Getting to know each other. Memories. Oh, look who's back. I love that. I don't want to keep dragging down the shadow. Listen, I'll let y'all see the twin flame, you know, divine union cards. Divine union is still here. But if you look back, okay, if you look back, your most chaotic experiences, whether sexually or just relationships, the worst ones, they were people you didn't really know like that. It were people that you didn't take the time to get to know well enough before going too deep with them, right? Because we have communication and getting to know each other. It's like, did you know each other beyond just the sensual attraction and the intimacy, right? Because that's what is, like, I'm being told to mention the memories of, did you get to know these people? How well did you know these people, this person, however, right? And those of you that lack experience, because everyone's welcome here, you all have a place, space, and everyone can participate. Don't put yourself in a position to where you look back and realize you didn't get to know a person, people, enough before intimacy. Because unfortunately for this pile, you don't have the luxury of just casually like that, like other piles, like other groups. Like, you don't have that luxury, okay? I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm making you aware as the reader. Like, you don't have the luxury of not getting to know people before intimacy like that, because it's very dangerous for this group. All right, now every blessing has its curse. That's the curse, right? That's the shadow, is you don't get to be outside like other people. But I don't know how many of those people will have the opportunity for the genuine divine union. If there is a twin flame, like I had a pile that had divine masculine, I had a pile that had divine feminine, you had both. So I don't know, you seem like the pile where especially if you pick more than one and you got across piles, you have potential for twin flame union and what it should be, not what all of the chaos says, right? Because a lot of people pick in this pile on the shadow, having dealt with shadow people, literally are why I be careful with the way I use the labels, because the stuff on the shadow side I see here is exactly what makes me not want to lean into the twin flame audience, okay? But make sure you're getting to know these people before just assuming you're in divine union and being intimate with them. Like, that's literally our question today. Is it love? Is it divine union? Like, what's your energy like when you're in intimate encounters? Make sure you're actually going to be in a divine union with someone by getting to know them first. You have to. And if y'all think I'm just being self-righteous and biased and projecting, I had a pile that was the opposite of that. It was like, you go outside, you live your life, and if people can't handle it, that's on them. That's not you. And if you pick that pile, I don't know. You merge these messages. What is this? See? Maturing energy of listen. Because what is this and why is in there like that? What else is in here like that? I must have missed this from the previous pile, but there's a maturing energy of making sure you listen. You got 22, which reduces to 4 the number of your pile. So let me get a couple more. Awareness wants to be seen, but I'm not taking this stack. My pile 4. Okay, there we go. We'll take it. This harmony. We got an ignited energy. A lack of support. You're seeing, okay, if you came from another pile with the master numbers, you're in the right place, right space, because I've got 11 and I've got 33. And I got the blood and moon of rebirth, which is transformation. So listen, you see that triumphant energy here? The twin flame soulmate that is healthy for you to merge with, completely changing your life in the best way. Like, and it's mutual. Like, divine masculine, divine feminine came out at the beginning, right? When I was preparing with the intention of your energy. Changing each other's life in the most amazing way. Feels like you inherited each other, okay? Karmic is going to feel like a curse, okay? It's going to transform and rebirth your life in the worst way if you get on the wrong side of this energy. Which is why, if anyone's selective, you be selective, okay? And a maturing energy of rest, okay? And when we talk about 18 plus energy, a maturing energy of rest talks about taking it easy, taking it slow, okay? All right, let me get your advice. Let me get your advice. You're going to always feel like you need more rest. You're always going to feel tired dealing with the karmic. Look, I don't make up these cards. I don't know what to tell you. But your karmic justice is that you will see divine union. Okay, like, I don't mean to sound all woo, but like, this is a pile of your karmic justice is knowing that you can't just be like that with everybody. You will be rewarded with a healthy one connection. Because, right, like, if you're not supposed to be here, there, and everywhere, that means there's one person that can fulfill all of your needs in a connection somewhere, somehow. And you'll be able to step into that energy, okay? All right, Luna is here. Use this knowledge to your spiritual advantage, to your emotional advantage, right? Luna is the moon, is everything occult, everything esoteric. So use this knowledge to your ability. Like, it's literally feels like spirit team stepping on table. Like, please listen to Onyx. Just listen to Onyx when she's talking to you for this pile, because this knowledge is very important to you, your health, your life, okay? All right, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm going to close you out now.